Good morning, everyone. It's V, the Grill Economist, and of course, the one and only professor himself, Algo Cowboy. And we're here. This is our free session. For those of you that are lucky enough to join us on YouTube, we're going to be live here for about 30 minutes or so, and then we're going to transition off to our members only. So if you're watching us on YouTube, it's an opportunity for you to see what we do in Algo Factory, but also to ask us questions. And these are paid questions. If you want to do a little, what's it called, live chat.
Super chat.
Super chat. That's what it is. The super chat.
I don't think we're connected for super chats just yet. I need to look into that. If they allow it, then they allow it. But otherwise, then the way to be to do that is to be an Algo Factory member.
Sure. So this is your opportunity to see kind of what we do here on Algo Factory. And with that being said, Cowboy, let's get into it.
All right. Okay. So let's see if we have any questions. I know I had a question from Dr. Mulder. I don't know if he's kicking it with Scully. He asked a question about XRP Ripple last night, and I caught it. It was pretty late, so I tend to be kind of looking at the markets around 11 o'clock, see if there's any overnight opportunities. And his question was, Dr. Mulder, by the way, is actually two people. It's just one person. Let me just put it, it's one of our buddies who got one of his buddies to sign. That's what happened, who got his buddies to join up with us. But he's an old friend of the show, of the Rogue. So this is an old Rogue friend, been around forever. And he said, hey, is this move in Ripple, this upward move, is that sustained? Like, is it going to go for a while? Are we going to get something big out of this? Is it going to be substantial? Or is it just temporary? So I did a bit of a demonstration with the charts, and let's see if I can recreate that really quick. I'll have to go back in time. I'm preparing the chart. I haven't shared the screen yet, so everybody don't worry. You're not supposed to see it yet. I'm going to do it right now. Give me 1 second. Entire screen. All right, so you should be able to see the screen now. And he asked, it's like right around midnight when I was on. I don't really get good sleep. I really should sleep more. I do take a nap in the afternoon.
I don't take naps. I don't sleep well. I need to start taking my sleep more seriously, man. It's starting to catch up with me.
Oh, I took a gut health analyzer.
A butt health analyzer? What the hell are you talking about?
Well,
I took a gut or butt?
No, gut.
Oh.
Yeah, butt health, dude.
I'm like, I don't want to know what you do. What are you talking
Hey, man, you got to worry about the butt
it's
health
2023. I shouldn't judge.
Yeah, don't judge. I'm freaking, racist.
So, okay, so tell me about this gut health analyzer.
It is a fecal sample. So, but basically, you send it in, and they look at your gut.
I'm not pooping in a bag, Cowboy.
Nah, it's just it's not like that. But it's like it. I'm not going to go into the details, but you send it in. It ends up in one of those in the movies when the whoever does like a DNA sample.
Stool samples, the stool sample.
Yeah, it looks like a DNA sample, right? So it's Q-tip. So they analyzed it, and one of the things they were saying with my gut health, which I thought was going to be better than it turned out to be, was that I don't sleep enough. So sleep is going to. Your gut health is very, very important to everything. Like a good portion of our brain is actually in our gut.
It's everything. The more I'm reading,
we're not. Say again.
The more I read, the more in terms of health, aging, keeping a proper immune system, emotional well-being, that is all gut.
It's all, yeah.
And
we're not health professionals here. Neither are we investment advisors. You need to go do your own research, read the description for the disclaimer. We're just doing education and entertainment. And that goes with the health stuff too. Although V, you do actually have a degree in clinical nutrition, so you can speak to it. I don't. I'm married to a nutritionist, but anyway.
I cannot advise you on medicines or stuff like that, but I can tell you, hey, eat this or that.
Yeah, you actually have the licensure, or it had it at one point. So what I would say though is that we talk about health on here because if you are going to be a trader,
Yes.
The work that goes into building an algorithm, and really, I should cover something we talked about last night late too. We're going to go over this for the beginners because it's such a key thing for beginners. So this is the beginner session, right? So from 6:30 until 6:30 my time, 8:30 EST until 9 EST, we go over very, very kind of beginner concepts. So we're not going to necessarily go too deep into the heavier stuff. This is for people who want to get into trading. They want to see if it's right for them. And a lot of that's going to have to do with understanding what goes into it. And a lot of trading is just mind work. Yes, there are ways. If you are a coder, there are ways to backtest automatically if you have the money to pay a coder to build your algorithm. But even getting that base algorithm built tends to be a manual process because that's just how it is, and that it's hard to explain that. But you're going to have to go on. You're going to have to take your set of indicators. You're going to have to do a back test that's a reasonable back test. It might not be the full 200, but you're going to have to go through 10, 20, 30, whatever it is. And then you're going to have to pay a coder to code whatever you think your algorithm is going to be and back test it, and then change some minor parts of it to get better numbers, right? But in the end, you still have to back test. Now, most people I've talked to, and even the experience I've personally had with dealing with a hard-coded auto trader that does all the work when you walk away, most people I've talked to and my own experience says that you're spending about as much time on either one. There are advantages to having your hard-coded algorithm, and then there's advantages to trading. I think a hybrid system is best where, because a hard-coded algorithm is going to take time to refine. Your hand trade, you're going to have a lot more discernment. You're going to have a lot more intuition when you actually enter and exit a trade because you're the human being looking at a lot of different factors, and coding those factors is not as easy as you might think. You actually have to code things a little bit differently. It's getting better and better as you get better and better coders. But in the meantime, you're going to be spending a lot of time looking at the screen, and you're going to spend a lot of time analyzing things, and you spend a lot of time kind of putting pieces of a puzzle together, and you're going to be reading about trading psychology, and you're going to learn how to treat it like a business. And all these things take energy, and they take mind energy, and your brain has to be as strong and as healthy as it possibly can. And that involves nutrition. It involves sleep. So that's kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah. You got to take it seriously like a sport. Right? If you ever played a sport in high school or after school or whatever, sleep, nutrition, diet, it all plays a factor in this because trading is a full contact sport. Go ahead, Cowboy.
No, absolutely. It's about. I mean, look, there are people who have said this is the most stressful thing to do. I've heard air traffic control actually is, or maybe being like an ER doc. Lives are at stake at that point. But trading is, it's a different kind of stress. It's your money that's at stake, right? And so what happens is like you can go through all your testing and have what you think is a good algo. The minute real money goes on the line, that becomes a whole different story because emotions become involved. And so, and that leads me into another talk we're going to have. But first, before we have that talk, we're going to talk about what Mulder was asking. And this was a move last night. Look at this. If I saw this screen like this, I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to be rich. Look at that. This ripple move. Look at that massive move upward, man. Holy crap. Is this going to go forever? Is it going to be sustained? Right? That's. Now, I'm not saying Dr. Mulder had that kind of emotion at all. I'm saying a lot of people do, right? So I don't know what Dr.
Hey, man, I had that emotion. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I saw it like, holy crap. Look, I'll tell you this. I have had many moments in trading, especially early on, especially in crypto, where I thought, holy crap, I'm going to be rich. Well, guess what? Let us go ahead and move. That's a 2-hour chart, right? Yeah. That's a 2-hour chart that you're looking at. So now we're going to move to a 3-day chart. And we're going to see what that really looks like. And it ain't much. This is that same move on the 3-day chart, right in this box, right there. So now this move on the 3-day chart, that's a different move. Okay, this happened back in mid-March, right here. That's not the move that we saw on the prior chart. Is right here. This little guy right there. That's all it is. Not that it's nothing. So it's really easy to get excited when you're looking at a low time frame, and even on that 3-day chart, that looks exciting, right? You're going from 35 cents to 60. You're almost doubling your money, but then you go ahead and zoom out and realize, oh, you know what? It's not that big a deal, because you look at the whole history. That's a big move. So from December of 2020 up until April of 2021, you get price going from 16 cents to what, $1.80 to $2. Now that's a big move. That's big. Now leading up to that, you had a lot of the same kind of stuff that we looked at last night, and you do. But what happened here was that the entire crypto market went up, and Ripple went up with it. So my answer is I don't think it's sustained. I think that two things have to happen. One, the SEC has to back off, and that situation needs to be rectified. And two, the crypto market has to really all be very bullish to see a big sustained move. And until such time, I don't expect price to go outside of the range that we drew yesterday on the show, on the main lab. And so for our members, you can go ahead and take a look at that main lab. I posted the link. So let's move on. We got Trev. Okay, Trev asked a really good question here. He said, let's see here if I can, because we had quite the conversation last night, me and Trev. He was actually aiming it at you, V. So he says,
what did I do?
Something good. He did something good. He says something about butt health. No, just kidding.
He
says, he said, morning V, 2 weeks in, basic course just about done. Because we have, by the way, for all the live listeners over on YouTube, we have on algofactory.tech. It's www.algofactory.tech. I probably should have said that at the beginning of the show. But, if you go over there, if you, become a member, it's like basically nothing. This thing's worth hundreds of dollars a month. We're giving it away for like $50, actually $49.99. That's not going to last. People who are able to get in at that price are able to have that price locked in for the life of their subscription. But that price will be going up, and probably not after too long. But here he says, he's morning V, 2 weeks in, basics course, just about done. Hopefully start building algos and backtest in the next 2 weeks. Okay, that's pretty quick because it takes a while to get through those courses, but okay. He says, tracking my current industry employer's economic downturn playbook versus 2008, I'm estimating I have 6 months to gain a level of competence. Mm-hmm. Right. So what he's thinking here is Trev is I've talked to him, I think, in the background a little bit. And as all of our customers are, real nice guy. And he says, between the course and following Rogue for 6 years, I'm far more optimistic about writing this one out. Really appreciate you, quote unquote, giving away the course material and being kept informed through the years with Rogue. That comes from Trev. So just V, if you want to, comment on that.
Yeah. It's our pleasure, man. It really is. And we're giving away a lot for the cost. And it's, I love the fact that we're able to push this out to people. And the thing is, this is so brand new, what we're doing. Like, it's never been done before. Nobody does what we're doing. And Cowboy and I, we're constantly tweaking this. We're trying to figure out ways to make it better, more efficient, more easier. And so you guys are along for the ride as Algo Factory becomes more incredible and better and grows, and the community continues to grow. It's great, and we're here for you. So you're going to get everything here. You're going to get the juicy behind the scenes info. You're going to get all the trading technicals. You're going to get all the teaching material from Cowboy and the technicals from Cowboy, and it's going to be great. It's the 1-2 punch, and we're glad, we're honored, and we're humbled that all of you are here for the ride.
For sure. So that's beautiful right there, and I couldn't have said any of that better. I did have a response on that though. That was a little, because he didn't address me on it, so I didn't want to, be magnanimous. But Trev, here is the. Oh, Trev, cool. Trev's with us right now. He heard all that. I'm glad you're here, Trev. So I'm going to read out for the listeners that are out in YouTube land. It takes most traders 4 years to be profitable when they start on their own. That process can be sped up by using a mentor or perhaps a group like ours. If you're a new trader and you want to be competent and profitable in 6 months, that's an ambitious goal. And there's nothing wrong with ambition as long as it's mixed with pragmatism. What really matters is that you stay very consistent with your formula. If you happen to not yet be profitable at 5.9 months, don't rush the process. That can cause you to make emotional decisions which lead to mistakes. Also, currency traders do really well when the market takes a dump. So don't think that you need to learn how to trade before the market falls apart. FX and crypto traders make a killing when stocks fail or when stocks fall. And when I say, I'm talking about people who trade, they can go short, they can go long, derivative traders, right? So there might be some jurisdictions where, some derivative people can't trade derivatives. You need to look into your own legal situation for that, right? But I'm able to legally trade on KuCoin and trade crypto derivatives as things stand right now. Okay, so back to the response. What I put here was the timeline for profitability is based on two things, right? So how long it's going to take you to get profitable is based on two things. One, the most important is going to be, well, these are both equally important, but number one, you have control of it, right? It's discipline and work ethic. So how much solid, undistracted time you spend on testing your algorithm and learning how to treat trading like a business. So side note here, an algorithm, don't get scared when you hear that word. It's a word that's kind of used. People think you're like some guy with a supercomputer and you got some dude with like really thick glasses and, building some super code. No, an algorithm is tying shoes is an algorithm. We went over this in the beginner course yesterday. An algorithm is merely a process where you have conditions line up and you take action. That's all it is. Anybody who trades an algorithm, whether they know it or not, as long as they have some form of structure. Okay, so any trading plan is going to be an algorithm. All right, so that's number one. And it's all about your discipline and work ethic. So how much undistracted time you're able to spend testing the algorithm and learning to treat trading like a business. And number two, this is one that you may not have as much control over. Okay, this is your ability to take in and understand the psychological element of trading. Okay, so people have different personalities and they take to the psychological component differently. The best thing I personally, Cowboy, have done is I've gone through what I've had to go through in order to desensitize me from taking losses. Okay, so people who cannot handle taking a loss generally have not gone through the discipline or work ethic component of building and testing their algorithm, and they certainly have not researched trading psychology. And that's the way that stuff is built. So then I've kind of said here, just enjoy the courses, do not rush it, come to our daily labs, watch them afterward if need be, and make sure to catch the beginner lab and bring questions, which Trev is here with us, of course, right? And you can always ask questions in here if you can't make the lab. So people who are members of Algo Factory, we have the lab that goes 24/7. So, and as you know, I'm on there all the time. V's on there constantly. So you'll find us answering questions at midnight like you did last night. So just make sure to catch that lab, ask questions in not Discord. We use Telegram. And that's it. So, we can always answer right then and there, or we can answer in the lab, or do both as we just did. So that's a bit of, chicken soup for the trading soul right there. You really got to understand that this is, we always say this, it is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Okay. This is something that is going to take dedication and it's going to take time. Anybody who thinks you're going to get rich quick, that's just ridiculous. And this is why we're charging $49.99 a month, especially right now. As V hinted to, I'm not going to give details, but this channel is going to expand. This product is going to expand. There are going to be other aspects that we're going to add in. Thanks, Trev. Trev says, and it's damn good soup. So, appreciate that. So this is going to evolve. This is going to get bigger, and one of the most valuable components to the Algo Factory game, one of the most valuable things that our members are paying for is the community. And that community is growing. So, we have 100 members almost, and we have most of them in the Telegram, all talking to each other. They're asking each other questions about where to buy this crypto, how to trade this, how to trade that, giving each other charts. So, that's just an added bonus being in the community like that. So, we got about 10 minutes left for the beginners. So I'm going to open it up to questions, but V, after that big kind of read off that I did and all that stuff, do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, I think that read off was perfect, Cowboy. It kind of gives it sets the expectations. Because the last thing, because there's a lot of guys out there. You got, all these trading rooms out there that selling people on hopium. All you need to do is know these 3 techniques, and you can swing trade your way to millions. Look at me, I'm entering into my private jet right now.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
They went to the airport and they got somebody to let them take a picture in front of their own private jet.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. And it's like, we're going to take an exotic vacation. Look, you can do the same thing. No, it's anything good comes with brutal work. I remember when I broke into the commodity space in 2003. One of the things my mentor, and I'll tell you, I'll tell who my mentor is off air when I go into members. The guy who got me my start, so you guys understand a little bit about my background.
Was it
my
Bernie
mentor?
Madoff?
Huh?
Bernie Madoff?
No, it wasn't Bernie. No. It wasn't Bernie.
He said, "Take them for all they're worth, V."
This is how you run a Ponzi scheme, V.
Yeah, okay, take them to the cleanest. Take them to the cleanest.
But no, one of the things he says, like, whatever you do, you got to work like a dog. You got to be able to grind your nose, figure it out, dedicate your craft. You're going to grind it out in here. And if you grind it out in here, you dedicate yourself. You have a ferocity when it comes to this coursework. You have a tenacity when it comes to staying in this and understanding this. And you have a mental fortitude and toughness so you can not panic, stress out, and get down in the dumps because you took a loss or two. Understand, you're going to be successful in the long term because that's what it is. It's about the immersion. It's about the hard work. And that's the only way you're going to make it in this world, whether it's trading or anything else you do. So that's the beauty of this. Go ahead, Cowboy.
No, that's beautiful. There's something that I added to that. Let's see. That it's something you said there. I did continue this conversation. Trev is concerned about his employer, as he talked about earlier. I said, look, trading's not a get-rich-quick game, and until you're profitable and until you have the right sized account, trading does not pay the bills. So you need to be profitable and have the right sized account for all that to work. And that the process is the process. Cutting corners generally leads to failure. People in trading, you get the odd person who gets lucky every so often. Like if you got into crypto in 2017. Like I did, then, basically all you had to do is just like throw a dart at a wall and go long. I mean, that's just, spot crypto 2017. That's lucky, right? So I had a good formula, but when the market changed, then all of a sudden I started taking losses, and, I was smart enough to take a lot of the winnings and set them aside and, do all the things I needed to do and give Uncle Sam his share. But the reality is that, over time in trading, nobody's lucky. Okay. So I don't care. Nobody, you have the 1 in a billion person who put everything on one thing. And that's a 1 in a billion person. I get emails from, I don't want to say who it is, cause it's a major personality in the penny stock world. Right. And he's just, I traded a $12,000 account into $1.8 million in 6 months. Like, look, I don't know. It's BS. Look, it's not BS.
Let's put it this way. If that guy is that good, he wouldn't be running a stupid trading room. Okay? If he was that good running a trading room for penny stocks, no. If he was that good, he would be raking millions. Goldman will be calling him.
I don't know. Actually, a lot of these traders, what they do is even if they're good like that, what they get tired of trading. So and I can tell you this as a full-time trader for a number of years, you actually get tired of it. You start to look at other projects, right? Like you can have all the money you need to pay your bills and, even then some, right? Buy a house in another state. And, I know a certain cowboy that did all that, but what happens is you get tired of the grind of just, finding a trade and taking a trade, finding a trade, taking a trade. You start to want to do something else. Like you want to start to do farming, or it does go like that. So I don't think this particular guy, he has a reputation. People see his trades. He's the real deal. But here's the thing. He says, took this trading account from, $12,000 to 1.8 million in 6 months. Well, here's the thing about that. He has something he's been doing for like a decade. And so he had 5 years of losing all his money or whatever. And then he got to where he can take his account from this to that, right? And one of the things that this particular person does is he's got information that he ain't telling you about on what stocks are going to do what. So here, there's a lot going on in the background when you have somebody that says, "Oh, this one weird trick will get your account from this to that." Nah, man, that's not how it works. Like, he has information, you know what I mean? And whether that information comes from somebody that gave it to him or whether or not it comes from some kind of metric, it used to be that they were able in penny stocks to get information based on volume movements and stuff like that. And that guy made a killing based on doing that. So I think something happened with the SEC where they made that not legal. That's kind of the story behind that guy. So I don't want you guys to think just because somebody is running a trading room means they're a bad trader and don't know what they're doing. Because we're not running a trading room, we're running an education service. But I'm at a point in my life where it's like I want to pass this on to others. So that's why we're doing this. Yeah, I'm not doing this because So it's just we want to be careful with accusing him of being a bad trader. That guy actually, I've seen his trades. He is the real deal. But the point is that if somebody's going to tell you, "Oh, use this one method," that's not how it works, man. It ain't how it works at all. There's no, if you can take somebody else's system and trade it perfectly, and let me put it this way: I could give you my algorithm with all the instructions, and you will F it up 10 times out of 10 if you're a new trader. And the reason you will not do it right is because you have not learned how to treat trading like a business. You have not gotten into the psychological component. So these are very dangerous things to just like jump into. And I've got this guy's system. I paid this one guy like $1,700 for his system and his trading calls. And he actually had a good record, but gosh darn it, for that 6 months I was in his group, dude, it was like loser after loser. And this guy had a good rep. So nothing works all the time. That's and the only thing that you're going to do is you're going to want to develop your own system that you yourself test, and it's going to be based on your own personality. And that's why we put together the Algo Factory, because somebody else's system is going to that's going to not be based on your own research. It's like be based on your own personality, your own anything, and it's probably not going to work for you.
Your trading style is as unique as your fingerprint, folks.
Yeah, it's your, like V said, it's your fingerprint. It's your personality goes so much into trading. There are some pretty good people out there that do some other so I know a guy that runs a pretty decent, I don't know him, I know of a dude that runs a pretty decent prop trading firm, and he has a whole training system that you have to go through a personality test and learn what those ENTJ, Briggs Myers type stuff, or is it Briggs Stratton? I forget which one. Briggs Stratton makes engines. Myers Briggs, I think is the Briggs and Stratton. Myers Briggs, I think it is. They're INTJ and all that horse pucky. It's actually good stuff. I love those tests. But what he does is he has you go through that test so you can determine what your personality is and how you need to move about your training and your trading. And that's a good prop firm. V and I, we might want to make a relationship with them at some point. I'll talk to you about it offline. But I like their attitude. They're good stuff. But yeah, so we didn't really get a whole lot of questions this morning, although Daryl's typing, so we can see if there's one question before we go ahead and take this off YouTube. Daryl, what puts a different spin on things? I want you to elaborate on that.
I guess what we just talked about, how we gave some real clarity into trading, and how we broke it down versus what quote unquote trading rooms are out there pitching. Learn my steps. These 3 things will take your trade to the next level. Yeah, the next oblivion.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I guess that I think that's what Daryl's referring to. Right?
Yeah, this guy. Yeah. Okay, Daryl says you're right. You called it out.
So this is why creating your own algorithm is so important. And this is why Cowboy always says, "Look, don't use my stuff. Learn through immersion." Because your personality, your style, how you approach it affects it. It's so unique to you. So when you learn through Algo Factory and you start making your own algorithm, it's your algorithm. It's you. It's, what I'm saying? So that's the beauty of it.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
your personality is literally translated onto the charts. So
Yep.
the kind of personality you are is going to be kind of transmuted, and not kind of it will be transmuted into your trading style. Your DNA is there in the market.
Yeah, that's why we have
So
a
you
psychology course up.
say again.
That's why you have the trading psychology aspect of it.
Yeah, I want to expand that. The trading psychology, we talk about the very basics of it. I don't get too far into it, but yeah, it's. I mean, I get as far into it as I think we need to get, like to really kind of put people on the right path. There's some really good books out there. Market Wizards is a really good trading psychology book. So that's one way to go. There's a lot of great detail out there. For example, like bias. We talk a lot about bias, where if you just won like 8 trades in a row, then you're gonna think, oh man, I need to put more money on, right? And then when you put more money on, you start losing, because that's not, you just kind of, the market just went your way a bunch of times in a row, and the market doesn't always go your way. You could have the perfect system and you're going to lose trades. It's just how it is. There's nobody that wins all trades. There's also the other, that's recency bias, right? Like, you have where you might have lost 8 trades in a row, and you have the perfect system. It just, you got bad luck. I mean, that happens. There is a certain component of luck. There's a probability aspect to trading, and it just didn't go your way that many times. Now, it might be good to kind of take a look at your system and see why you've gotten so streaky. But there's ways to handle that. It's going to happen. But I've seen it where you have a good system, but somebody tracked their trading over a number of years, and it did happen once in a great while where they would lose 5 or 6 in a row, and they would just back off for a minute. They would just like make sure they tooled their system. They'd already tested it. They'd had back and forward tested. They know it's good, but they just needed to stop trading for like a week, let the emotion go away, or trade smaller amounts. And that's all called recency bias. And that's one kind of aspect of the trading psychology that we get into on Algo Factory. So that membership includes, again, there's about 50 courses, 50 videos in 4 larger courses that go over, the basics of trading, just kind of the beginning. To cover all the basics of trading, it'd be like 10,000 videos. I just do the very basics. So there's a lot of either asking us questions in this beginner's course, or, we can point you in the right direction. And then there's there's like building algorithms, there's the psychological component, and then there's the operations course, which teaches you how to treat trading like a business. So go over to www.algofactory.tech. That's www.algofactory.tech. Come check us out. We'd love to see you in there. V, you have anything to say before we end the beginner section?
No, join us, learn, and transform your life. Make a positive impact on your bottom end. Trade your job, upgrade your life. Algo Factory. We're out.
Love it.